Today, on Be Something Wonderful, how to place your order with the catalog of infinity. I am your host, Tom Karen, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, welcome back. I heard from one of you who said, Tom, I'm new to your channel, and I was hooked after watching the recent video on the dual mirror. And I'm still watching other videos, but here's my question. That when I first started learning about the law of attraction and manifesting, and Neville got it and all that, a lot of teachers talked about you just have to place your order with the universe and the universe will fulfill it. And it always seemed too simple to me. And it hasn't really been my experience either up until now. And so I just thought maybe you could talk about that. Well, guys, we're going to talk about this today and more. Let me just say this, that is a model of how it works, right? But there is something to it. And so when you order something, God fulfills it. The universe fulfills it, right? It's done. But the question is not whether when you order it that it's yours, but how do you order? Well, today, guys, we're going to unpack that and more. So here's what I want to say. Let's go with this analogy that you have the catalog, or the infinity catalog, I call it, that source. That contains everything there ever is, was, or ever be. It contains everything you want. It has all the images of what you want. And what's more, the image doesn't appear in the catalog until you desire it, until you think about it, until it becomes an intention, right? And then on the other side, you have the store, right? 3D reality. So let's talk about the store, right? Let's talk about 3D reality first. This is the world store. Remember, using the mirror analogy, right? Using the world mirror, the dual mirror, that the store is the reflection of what? Of the catalog, right? So the catalog has everything. Everything that's in the 3D world is in the catalog. But not necessarily everything that's in the catalog is reflected in the 3D world. Are you following me here? This contains everything. This contains only the manifested reality, or the reflection. Okay, so this is physical reality. In physical reality, in the actual store of the 3D world, right, of the manifested world, it's limited. There's a limited supply. That you have to take actions, right? You have to use what Vadim Zeland calls in reality transurfing, inner intention. You've got to set a goal, and then you've got to work towards that goal. And then you've got to do things to accomplish it. Right? And there's competition for the limited supplies. There's competition for what you want, right? It depends on time and space, and it's always in the future, right? Like your goal, it's in the future, right? And then it requires doing it. It requires you go to the store, right? And buy it and get it from there, right? The 3D reality, these are physical objects, right? And then you wait long lines for what you want. Right? Because of the competition, because there's limited supply, right? And then there's not always what you want. You go to the store and they're out. They've sold out. The person in front of you just got the last one. That's the store. That's 3D reality. But on the other side of physical reality, on the other side of the dual mirror, is the metaphysical reality. 3D reality is the reflection. It works the opposite of a regular mirror. Right? A regular mirror, you're the image, and on the inside the mirror is a reflection. In this case, in the dual mirror, in the world mirror, you're the reflection. And on the other side, your image, created by your thoughts, your feelings, and your assumptions and your intentions. Metaphysical reality has an infinite supply. It never runs out. It has everything you ever wanted. It works by intention. Imagining the desired end in what Vadim Zeland calls outer intention, because it's outside of your 3D you. All right? That you focus on your desired end. There's no competition. There's enough for everybody, and more than enough, right? It's timeless and it's everywhere, right? And it's right now. Right? And it's not about doing, it's about being. Right? That's the difference. And it's images of objects. It's not the physical objects themselves, like in 3D reality. And there's no lines. You don't have to, you just order it and it gets fulfilled. Right? And in fact, it's fulfilled when you order it. Right? And it's free. Right? The only payment would be that, and it's not even a payment, but for the sake of using this analogy, the only payment would be alignment. Aligning with what? Aligning with your higher self, aligning with that inner you, right? Aligning your heart and mind. So when your heart and mind are lined up, then it must manifest. That's the only way. There are no lines, and it's always exactly what you want. You can find everything exactly what you want. Do you see this, guys? You've got the store, the reflection, the limited supply, 3D reality, physical objects. You've got the catalog of infinity, source. That works with the image. That's on the other side of the dual mirror. This is the reflection. This is the image, right? The metaphysical reality, infinite supply, works with intention, not action. The action, it's a metaphysical action, right? There's no competition. It's timeless. It focuses on not doing but being. It's the images of the objects, not the objects themselves. There are no lines, and you get exactly what you want. Yeah? So let's unpack this. Let's do a deep dive today. You ready? Let's do it. So 3D reality always reflects the image you ordered, right? It always reflects the image you ordered. Where? In the catalog of infinity. It always reflects that, either consciously or unconsciously. You might have said, well, I didn't order that. Well, you did, but you did it unconsciously, right? Today we're going to talk about ordering consciously from that catalog, right? Or that which you got or didn't get from the store. So it always reflects what you ordered or that which you didn't, that which you got or didn't get from the store, right? It also reflects what you didn't get. Right? You imagined something, but you didn't get it. And we're going to talk about why, right? If your intention is on the store, the already manifested 3D reality, if your attention is just on that physical store, that becomes your perception of the world, right? You don't even know that the infinity catalog exists on the other side of the dual mirror, right? You don't know because you're stuck. You want to go to the store. You want to wait in lines. You want to fight for others to get the saleable items, right? And so, and again, when your attention's on the store, your attention's on lack, right? Maybe they won't have what I want and I don't have it. Limitation. They're running out. Struggle. I've got to get there first before someone else gets there. Effort. Right? I've got to drive there, then I got to park my car. I got to wait for it in line, and I really want it. That's the 3D reality, right? You will always be in the back of the queue, hoping what you want isn't sold out before it's your turn. When you focus on the reflection, when you focus on the current frame and your lifeline, when you focus on the 3D manifestation, you're always going to be waiting in the back of the queue, waiting back of the line, hoping that when you come up to the counter that they have what you want before it's not sold out, right? Hear this, and then what are you doing in line? You're doubting. You're fearing. And so what happens? You manifest. Your heart and mind align with that fear, and your worst fears are realized. We're going to get back to this in a second, right? Instead, skip the lines, the long lines. Skip the efforting. Skip the settling for something less than what you want, right? Oh, you're out of it? Okay, I'll get this. That's not really what I want. Hear this. You settle for something that you don't want because they sold out of what you wanted. When you're caught up in 3D physical reality, this means your mind is saying, okay, I'll take it. It's not really, but your heart's saying that's not what you want. Your soul, right? Your soul, that greater subconscious, saying, no, that's not your heart's desire. So they don't align. So what happens when you settle for what you don't want? Things just don't work out. They don't work out the way you want. The dream doesn't happen, right? Because you didn't align your heart and soul. We're going to get to this, right? Hear this, guys. You're skipping something less than what you really want in order exactly what you desire from the infinity catalog. You can have exactly your heart's desire if you order from the catalog. So let's unpack this a little bit more. And this brings us, Vadim Zeland talks about the mirror principles. I'm going to talk about 3 today because they're directly relevant to your question on this idea of comparing law of attraction and manifesting to ordering something from a catalog, because there is a lot of truth in it, right? The first mirror principle says 3D reality reflects your relationship to it. Meaning, if you're smiling, the world will smile back at you, right? Remember, you're the reflection, right? So you've got to create the image, right? You've got to create that image behind the mirror, right? You and everything else in 3D is the reflection of your beliefs, assumptions about yourself and the world. Hear this. You and everything else in the 3D is a reflection of your beliefs and your assumptions about yourself. Or in other words, 3D reality reflects your relationship to it, based on what you think, your concept of yourself and your concept of the world, right? Remember, here's the mirror, just as a refresher. The mirror is the store. Or the mirror is not the store, but the mirror includes the store and includes the catalog. On this side of the mirror, the 3D you is the reflection or the physical store. You're unhappy here, right? And you want to change that. So you go to the store, you wait in lines, they don't have what you want. And so what happens? Instead, you create an image of being unhappy. That's reflected back to you. That's what you're creating. You're just creating more unhappiness, right? As you focus on the store, right? You create the image of that, right? And that's what you order from the catalog. You're ordering that. And it's reflected in the 3D reality. Do you see this, guys? The second mirror principle says, and this brings us to really one of the most important principles, the reflection, this reflection, right, in the mirror, created by that image of you being unhappy in the metaphysical space, ordering that from the catalog, the reflection is formed in the unity of your heart and mind, right? You're unified here, right? You're just, when you're unhappy, when you don't like something, when you really detest it or want to change it, your heart and mind are lined up, right? You're doubting it, you're hating it, and then they're lined up, right? Now you're aligned because you have so much passion behind that hate, so much passion behind what you don't want. Now you manage to reflect in 3D your worst case scenario, right? The reflection is formed by unity of heart and mind. So your heart desires things, right? And then the mind says, well, I doubt it, or what will happen if I get it? It has fears or objects to it, right? That's one scenario. Or there's a scenario that your soul is indifferent. Right? You desire something based on reasoning or what the world thinks or what others think. Right? Maybe you become something that you don't want to become just because people will approve of you. Or maybe you buy something because it's cool to have. This is based on your 3D mind, but your heart knows that's not what you want. Your heart is indifferent. Right? So do you see the differences? Here, your heart desires something, but you doubt it. Here, you desire something by the 3D you based on the parameters of the outside world, right? Based on what other people think or other people want. And you just settle for it. And your soul is indifferent. Your soul, that's not your soul's desire, so they're not aligned here either, right? So your mind settles. Do you see this, guys? Very important. This is why, right? This is why you don't always get what you want, right? Because your heart and soul, right? Your heart and mind, not your heart and soul, your heart and mind are not aligned, right? Your mind and soul are not aligned, right? The heart is another word for the soul or your heart's desire, right? The mind is the 3D you, right? That's the 3D you struggling with doubts and fears and analyzing things or settling for less or thinking about what other people have and wanting that. And it's not really being you. It's like buying clothes that are not really you, but others are wearing them, so you think it's cool. And then you just don't feel comfortable in them. Right? You get home and you change it to the clothes of your heart's desire. That's what we're talking about here. Okay, so let's go on with this. Example, what you really want, your heart's desire, is available in the catalog, but you have to wait a few weeks until you can receive it. So it's available. What you really want is always available, right? And it's available in the catalog. In other words, so what happens here? In other words, why do you have to wait? You're going to say, well, Tom, why do I have to wait a few weeks to order it, right? When you order from the catalog, in other words, you need to align with your higher self. Imagine your wish fulfilled, occupy the state, and line up your future frame. Maybe it's not a few weeks. Maybe it's overnight. Maybe it's immediately. It shows up at your door. It all depends if you're aligned or not, right? But it all depends on your relationship to the world. What does that mean to you? right? And so, in other words, you need to align your higher self, imagine your wish fulfilled, occupy the state, and light up your future frame, right? Again, we know things can take time sometimes in 3D. That's because of our belief in linear time. That's because of the denseness of the 3D reality, but it can come pretty fast when you are aligned, right? It's yours when you desire it, intend it. That is, when you place the order, it's yours. Right? When you place the order in that catalog, it's yours. But because it doesn't come right away, or we don't see it right away, we start doubting it, right? You decide, so here's a typical example. You decide you can't wait. So you rush to the store. You go to the physical store. 3D reality, you take action, right? 3D action. You wait in line. Then you find out that they sold the last one to the person in front of you. So you didn't order from the catalog because you didn't want to wait. You didn't want to bother to get aligned with your higher self, to imagine your wish fulfilled, to occupy the state, to light up your future frame. You just decided, I'm going to go direct. I'm going to tackle this in a 3D way, right? And so you do. You decide you can't wait. So it's sold out. Then, when you learn this, you grow increasingly frustrated, arguing with the manager that they should keep more in stock. Hear this. They're out. But yet you're going to just argue that they may be out, but next time you should keep more in stock. It serves no purpose to complain, right? Then then in frustration, you go back to the catalog and say, okay, right? You resign to ordering it through the catalog, through the metaphysical route, not the 3D route, right? You turn away, but then what happens? You find out that your account has been suspended or your credit card has been declined, right? Because you're not in a state to receive it, right? You can't order from that state. You're not aligned. You're not ready to order that. Do you see what happened here, guys? This is how it plays out. This is why it feels so frustrating. But you can align at any moment. You could just order it without all of this. This is the drama and trauma of the 3D world that's all self-inflicted, that's all created by you, right? So we always have good news, though. So when your heart and mind are not aligned, hear this, the image, your desired reality or wish, right? That's your image, your desired reality. That's the image you create. Sometimes you create an image of the unwanted, right? But in this case, the image that you really want becomes blurry. Hear this, the image on the other side of the reality mirror, right? That image is starting to form, but it becomes blurry because you're fighting with it. Your heart and mind are not aligned. Now you're in a really low state of vibration. You're in a state of frustration. You're in a state of lack. It can't come. Your heart desires one thing, and your mind, a 3D you, insists on something else. That's what's going on. That's why your worst fears are realized and your hopes and dreams often are not. Right? Sometimes we dream for something, we hope for something, but we don't align with our heart's desire. Right? We don't align with it. We doubt it. We doubt, oh, I can't, or I don't deserve it, or that's just too much for me, it will never come, but it's nice thinking about it. Right? That's a daydream. Right? That's a pipe dream, as my mother used to say. Right? So fear and loathing, that's why. So worst fears, why do always worst fears get manifested and not our hopes and dreams? Well, here's why. In your loathing, in your fear, you align your heart and mind. Right? They get aligned. Right? You can feel that fear through your whole being, right? That creates a clear image. You create a clear image of what you don't want. Hear this. On the other side of that reality mirror, you have now, instead of a blurry image, you've created a clear image of what you hate, of what you fear. And as a result of perfect alignment of your heart and mind, and perfect clear creation of that image on the other side of the reality mirror, you manifest what you wanted to avoid, what you wanted to get rid of, what you loathe. The catalog of infinity contains everything, and you get what you order. Okay, so that's the bad news, but let's get to the good news. So that's what we're talking about. Let's continue on back. So here's an example, just an example. You might have noticed in my videos, I think it was last week, that I had a different flip chart. If you notice, there was a yellow thing at the top, it was different. It was a little wider. You can look back at the videos, you'll see it. And what happened here? Last week, my flip chart paper supply was getting low. So my attention, it was not like I was stressing or worried about it, but where was my attention? My attention was on that it's getting low. So I'm going to need more flip chart paper. So I placed an order. I placed an order with Infinity. I placed the catalog order. Right? I already placed the order. And then what happened was the order arrived, and I placed an order of flip chart paper and markers, black markers, because I always use them black, right? And the markers arrived, but not the flip chart paper. So here's the process that started with me. I'm thinking, well, maybe it was lost and it won't arrive. Here I am, a conscious creator, right? But I'm just thinking it through, right? With my 3D mind. Maybe it won't arrive before I run out. That was in the back of my mind. On the other hand, I know I'm a conscious creator. I know it will arrive. Because that's what happens. That's how reality works. When I think it and feel it with all my being, it happens. Just like with you guys, right? But then I thought, well, the day was, so there was a day when it was running out, right? And it would have been out by the end of the evening for sure. So I just around, the afternoon, I said, well, okay, I will take action, right? Because here's the thing, I wanted to release the resistance of this doubt I had. So I was still certain that it would arrive, right? I know it, but it wouldn't arrive. Hear this, this is big. I'm certain it would arrive, but not with that doubt. Not like this, it's not going to arrive ever. It's just not going to come, right, with me like that. So I thought, well, I'm just going to release the resistance and take action, right? And it was 3D action. I'm going to go to Office Depot. Here I am happy because I'm releasing the resistance. I decided to release the resistance and take action just as I was running out of paper. Then what happens? I get home. I set it all up. It's getting later in the evening, right? And I'm starting to carve out another lesson. And then, sure enough, just about, they always guarantee it by 10 o'clock at night, just sometime between 8 and 10, that flip chart paper arrived. It was late. It didn't come with the markers, right? But it arrived, and a lot of you are like, oh, well, Tom, it probably would have arrived yet anyway. Maybe, but I wanted to release the resistance. And when I did that, I was feeling good. So it has to come. Everything has to work out when you're feeling good, right? So this really brings us to, this really brings us to the third mirror principle. This is really what I wanted to talk about. There is a delay in the reaction of the dual mirror. Hear this. There's a delay in the reaction, meaning there's a delay in that image being reflected in 3D reality. Not like a normal mirror. When you stand in front of a normal mirror, you immediately see the reflection. But think of it this way. Think of, if I really want to describe how the dual mirror works, the reality mirror, imagine yourself standing in front of a regular mirror. And as soon as you stand in front of it, you see nothing. There's no image. And you're holding up your hands like this. Then you go up, nothing. And then you put your hands down. And you go, oh man, there's no use, and you walk away. Well, you didn't give the mirror time. If you stood there, aligned your heart and mind, rolled that future frame in your head of your wish fulfilled, imagine your wish fulfilled, right? Held the state of fulfillment, then the mirror starts filling in, the reflection starts filling in. This is like a normal mirror, right? That image that you have, remember, you're showing it, right? And then, so see, here you are in front of the mirror. You put your arms up, nothing, right? You put your arms out, nothing. Then finally, if you stand in front of the mirror long enough, the image or the reflection starts showing in 3D reality. The image that you have with your thoughts, feelings, and emotions and assumptions starts manifesting or reflecting in 3D reality. That's what we're talking about. So So you stand in front of the mirror and perceive no reflection. Right there you are. And then as you continue to stand in front of the mirror without doubting it, without going to the store, right? Without going to the store, right? You're going to order in the catalog, and then now that you've ordered, you're not going to cancel your order. You're not going to doubt it. You're going to stay with it and imagine your wish fulfilled. You're going to stay in that state, and there it comes. Then the reflection starts to coalesce until you finally have it manifested in 3D reality. That's how the reality mirror works, right? Remember, only this is you in 3D reality, right? This is the image, right? This is you with your thoughts, feelings, and assumptions, and then that's the 3D reality showing, that's what will show up in 3D reality. That's what will manifest as you hold it, right? That's how the reality mirror works, but you are the reflection. You in all of 3D reality are the reflection, and your thoughts, feelings, assumptions are the image. Wow, that's big, right? And the sort of big point I want to make here, yes, so you got to align your heart and mind, and it doesn't hurt that Vadim talks about the Venetian masters that they used to add gold to the composition of the backs of their mirrors. So when you looked in a Venetian mirror, the hue, your reflection seemed warmer. It seemed like it was glowing. There was something warm and inviting about it. It made you look better. It made you feel better, right? So like the Venetian masters that add gold to the amalgam, right? The backing of the mirror, which created a warm tone and reflective glow. This is what you do. Add a favorable amalgam to your world mirror, right? For example, God or the universe always has my back. Everything works out for me. Add this, right? See, everything is working out for you. Add that amalgam to your environment, right? That helps you move, that helps you manifest what you want. That helps you create that image that then gets reflected in 3D reality. Or in other words, when you place the order is it God answers, right? The universe delivers always. That is how to place your order with the catalog of infinity. I am your host, Tom Karen, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification button, like and share our videos. That's how we get our message out. Hit us up on Facebook at Be Something Wonderful, on Instagram and Twitter at Tom Karen, our website at tomkaren.com and besomethingwonderful.com, or write me anytime at info@besomethingwonderful.com. I would love to hear from you. Until next time, with great love and great light, I'll see you soon. Oh yeah, guys, and don't forget to share the videos, share the channel. That's how we grow. I'm loving it. I'll see you soon. Until next time.